Ask yourself this question. How did these four companies, Google, Facebook, Apple, and Amazon, find a way to infiltrate our everyday lives and become so immersed not only in our lives but in this world as companies that we cannot live without? Well, to answer that question, I recommend that you read this book, The Four, by author Scott Galloway. Just a brief introduction about who Scott Galloway is. Scott Galloway is a business professor at the NYU Business School. Scott Galloway has a lot of entrepreneurial experience as well as experience in teaching students on how to create effective marketing, branding, and business strategies. Scott Galloway spends a lot of his time studying, analyzing these four horsemen, as he calls them in the book, to see how they essentially infiltrated our lives and became essentially addicting. He first starts off with Amazon. Amazon is a company that is dominating the online e commerce retail industry. Recently, Amazon has acquired Whole Foods and many other sub companies to continue to grow and develop to be a dominant entity in e commerce. Scott Galloway also mentions that Amazon's number one goal as a company is to become Earth's largest store. Crazy, right? Yeah, I said the same thing myself. I don't understand how Amazon became such a huge company over the span of these few months and even these few years. But as you take a look at the book before, it dissects every single piece and every single element on what makes Amazon the great white shark of retail, which Scott Galloway calls it. Now we move on to Apple. Why Apple? Ask yourself that question. Why do you have an Apple iPhone? Well, in the book The Four, Scott Galloway breaks down that Apple prides itself on selling high quality products that focus on simplicity. Apple focuses on social currency. What is social currency, you may ask? Everyone wants to be the top of the food chain on every social class. So when you think of people with iPhones, and when people with iPhones think of themselves, they think that, of course, they are better than Android users. They think that, their product or their phone is a higher quality phone. Although Apple may have a lot of software flaws, the hardware is just a beautiful piece of technology. Now we move on to Google. I don't think that anyone in this world can live without Google. Google is essentially our end all be all. Google has every single answer to every single question that we need the answer to. How did Google find its way into our lives as the number one primary source of information? Well, Scott Galloway breaks it down simply that Google is a company that has dominated the search engine industry since the minute it stepped foot on the internet platform. A lot of what Google has done early on in its inception caused it to be, so dominant today. Just the amount of ads that it sells through its search engine optimization, and just the various partnerships that it has with large companies such as AT&T, and even Apple, surprisingly. We will find that a lot of these big four do work together, but all four of their goals is to be the sole tech entity in our lives. We may not see that with Facebook in regards to hardware, but Google has also entered, the hardware race to challenge Apple with their Google Pixel 2. So as you can see, they're venturing more and trying to, put their hands in many different pots. Lastly, we have Facebook. Facebook has become the number one social media site in the world. Every single day, there are 1.8 billion active users on Facebook. Facebook has completely infiltrated our own personal lives. A lot of people go to Facebook to put all of their personal information, and little do people know. Oftentimes, Facebook does sell a lot of our secret information to, the Federal Bureau of Investigation and many other um, governmental agencies. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that, when they get on Facebook and they type all their information, that it's just oh yeah, I'm on social media sharing all of my personal information with my friends. But in no actuality, you're essentially selling all of your personal information to the entity that is Facebook. So a lot of these corrupt things and a lot of the underlying DNA that causes these companies to be the powerhouses that they are in this book, The Four. I highly, highly, highly recommend reading this book. I'm almost finished. I have yet to put it down since I picked it up. Again, the book is called The Four, The Hidden DNA of Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Google. If you're looking for a great read, The Four is the route to go. Scott Galloway, as I said before, breaks down every single company to its root and pulls out everything that makes the company who they are. So again, thank you all for watching. My name is Jamir Tools. I am a junior public relations student with a minor in marketing, and I'm signing off.